If I can put three pennies in your pocket and not in a gay way, I'll do that, and not that there's anything wrong with that.
Hard Rock Lunchbox.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Thursday edition of the Hard Rock Lunchbox. Not that there's a lot of other editions of the Hard Rock Lunchbox. There was the one I did on a Friday night. I was doing one of the benefit shows the New Regal Radio does for Faces for Autism, and I did the Friday night shift. I did from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., and I was drinking for it. By request, by the way. Raised a decent amount of money doing it, too. But that's not what's happening here. Not drinking today. Nope. Not drinking today at all. It's been a slow day for everybody here at the box, and by everybody I mean me. Having a tough time getting going. I don't think I slept more than maybe 3 hours for the course of the evening. So, yeah, good job. Good job doing the one thing I was supposed to do last night. Just feeling, like, it feels like this happens often, so maybe regulars of the box will understand. Like, so if I seem to be either flighty or losing my train of thought a lot, that's why that is. I can't do much if I don't sleep well. You know what I mean? Like, like, for example, I'm trying to fix my microphone right now, and I don't know why I'm not doing it correctly. I just decided that today I would learn how to not use a microphone. So, yeah, good for me. That's two things. I've had quite a week. I know, you guys are all wondering. It has not been a good week, which is probably why I have not been sleeping so well. But that's on me. That's nothing you guys need to worry yourselves about. We've got a brand new Hard Rock Lunchbox for you. I know, that seems unsurprising because I don't pre-record them anymore. The last time I pre-recorded a Hard Rock Lunchbox, I got yelled at for days about it by the people that were listening, none of which are actually in the chat anymore, which is funny. So I don't know if there's a direct correlation to me pre-recording the box or what, but that's cool. I would like to promote some stuff, but the reality is I didn't do any of my homework for the box today. So and like I said, I've been swamped. It's been quite a week at work. I actually I built like an 11.5 hour day yesterday. Like, just crazy busy. And I don't know why. It just sort of came in, like, there's a lot of stuff all scattered out, which is not helping me at all, because as well as I can do things and do tasks and stuff like that, when I have things coming at me from all sides, it becomes very difficult for me to hold on to things, and becomes very difficult for me to finish any particular task of everything that's coming in as an emergency. So I'm working on sorting some of that out. Again, not your problem. It's time for the box, and we're going to do box stuff. But as it pertains to you, I have no idea what is on the top 20 this week. But I assume it's out because, excuse me, because that's what happens every Thursday morning. I also have no idea what's on Bacon Is My Podcast for this week. I saw the image because whenever they put out a new Bacon Is My Podcast, which is fun, because the onslaught of promotion that Mikey and Jimmy do, like, I find enviable. Like, I can barely, like, for this show, I changed, like, my Facebook cover, and I think that's about it. And I really, like, I don't know, like, what does anybody think about this? Like, I don't want to ignore the chat, like, right away, but, like, what does anybody think about, like, do I need to create a separate Instagram for the Hard Rock Lunchbox and just post stuff like that? I mean, it'll really only be, like, on Thursdays and maybe, like, on Wednesdays if I remember to post it, or, like, I don't know, like, I don't know what makes the most sense, to be perfectly honest. I just don't know. Oh, there's a new Jamming with a Stranger, according to the chat. That would be Chris Waterbury. I have not seen that. Did he? Oh, I did see that. He does like an Ashes run through, right? I haven't I haven't watched that. And Bacon is with Conquer Divide. I don't know who that is. So, yeah, I'm just completely shitting the bed, like, already today. So, yeah, then that's 3. Why don't we just call it? We'll all go home, and that'll be it. I think would be appropriate. I realized this morning that I have not had a cold brew from Starbucks in some time, and that shouldn't be a story. But that's what I'm going with today. Apparently there's Monty content. You know, we should end the show right now and see what Monty is up to. Let's check in with Monty, shall we? Nah, I didn't think so. I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to get a hold of Monty if I wanted to check in with him. But anyway. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to stop reading the chat now because it's distracting. Sorry, I tried to check in with the chat, and that's what I got for it. My bad. But anyway, I was talking about the promotion. Like, as soon as Bacon Is My Podcast puts out something, first of all, it is... Like, I'm friends personally with both of them, so I'm friends with their accounts and stuff. But they also have bands, and then they have the Bacon accounts and stuff like that. So it's like, there is literally no way for me to not know that there's a new Bacon Is My Podcast episode out, which is funny to me because I know it comes out on Monday. So it's like, I would miss it anyway. I mean, I would miss it for the same reasons I miss it now. Like, you know, work is kind of a bitch, but I always do end up catching up and stuff like that. But it's just funny, like the sheer level of promotion, I think, is just fantastic. And that's kind of funny, given what happened today regarding sheer levels of promotion, because Craving Strange dropped a new song with precisely 0 levels of promotion. Yeah. And I am hella curious to see how that actually works out, kind of on the metric run, because Craving, and Jimmy specifically, but Craving as an entity has always been really good at promotion, and kind of, you know, they're very good at public, and they as a group tend to know how to use social media a lot better. They're much more engaging than I am. I'm engaging, and I'm engaging in all the wrong ways. Like, what I do is I engage people to the point where they don't want to talk to me anymore, and then they disengage. So it might sound like there's another engage in disengage, but disengage actually means the exact opposite. It's closer to unengage or non-engage than just engage. So they're much more engaging. So they've always been able to do really well in the social media. Plus, there's, you know, I'll call it 3.5 of them at any given time that are creating content and putting it up for people to check out and stuff like that. And even if it's good or bad, like, it doesn't matter. It's still content. Like, I would argue that if I could throw up the absolute worst content featuring, I don't know, Kaz, I think it would probably be the biggest hit we've ever done. So, like, I don't know. But so, as such, like, they promote stuff all the time. In fact, I don't even know that they referenced anything about Say It All coming out at all publicly. I don't know. I know I've talked about it because I've known about it. I've known the song since they went in to record it. Like I liked the song when I first heard it, and I mean, I had actually like listened to it kind of early on, and I think I offered some thoughts on it, which smartly Jimmy like didn't do any of, and he went in a much better way than I think I would have done. So, but I got caught up in some of the lyrics, and even yesterday I was just saying, like, you know, the lyrics in that particular song sting a little bit. So I think I just got caught up in what I would want to say, but like, he's got his own thing to say, and that makes way more sense because it's his song and his band. So that's probably the right thing to do. Yes, 3.5 is too generous, but I didn't know how to break that down more. And honestly, who the hell knows who I'm going to piss off next? So I'm trying to err on the on the upside of positivity, like the trying to go a little more glasses half full. But anyway, so traditionally a very promotion heavy band and a well promoted band, like they do it well. It's not like, yo man, we got a new single. You know, it's not that. It's usually some sort of engagement, brings people together, you know, gets people talking and stuff like that. And this time with no engagement, I'm wondering if the people that tend to follow the band will really pick up the slack and be like, holy shit, man, there's a sleeper hit here. Like, you got to hear this. They didn't even promote it. Like, it just came out. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know I had dropped a song on our Spotify and didn't say a word about it. And I've heard maybe from 3 to 5 people that, like, oh, my God, I didn't even know this was there. I'm like, yep, that was the point. Wanted to see what would happen. But I'm curious to see, like, me not saying something about a song coming out is, like, one step down from saying something, because we just don't do that. I don't do that anymore. I used to do it a lot. I don't. Things have changed, and I just don't do it anymore. But I'm curious to see if it's the drop in promotion creates, like, from somebody that does what Craving does. I'm curious to see if that drop in promotion will create a sort of almost like a guerrilla marketing campaign where it kind of goes grassroots and viral. I have no way of knowing what that's going to do, and I don't know that Jimmy does either, but I guess he'll find out. We'll see kind of how... We'll find out as we get the metrics in and stuff like that. I mean, promotion here on the box is going to be what it is, which is always what it is, and our small little circle of, I don't know, 100 people, 200 people, I have no idea. By the way, like, I was checking the stats on the box the other day because it had a note on there when I went to upload it to do that. And I know I've been doing this show for a while, and I know I don't have every box uploaded because I didn't start uploading. Like, I didn't start podcasting the replay of the box for years. So maybe that's like 3 years ago. But I've got like 16,000 show downloads for this stupid show. Like, I want to just, like, say, like, thank you, like, so much. I really do appreciate that. Like, I don't know who all is listening to it. I mean, I know I've got, you know, in any given week, I have a handful of people that'll listen. Like I've said, like, that has changed over the years. That listen live and in the box and, like in the actual box chat. And if you want to join the conversation, of course, feel free to hop over to 99WNRR.com, and the chat is there. The chat is fairly passive today, so I feel like they're in a pretty good mood. So if you're new to it, today might be a good day. I don't always recommend it because they can be kind of uppity from time to time. But yeah, I was actually surprised to see that number. It was fun. It was funny. I got a negative review on Apple because it's on Apple Podcasts or Apple Music or whatever it is too, like the replay. And I say in the description, which is fine, not everybody reads the description, but I say in the description, I'm not allowed to replay commercial music on the podcast. I'm allowed to do it here. I'm allowed to play anything I want here because we're covered under LoudScan, which basically scans what we're doing. Like, our stream is monitored by LoudScan, and every time we play a song, they track it, and then they actually send the artist more money here than they do on Spotify. I know on Spotify I'm good for about, I think, 1/10 of a penny, maybe 100th of a penny per play. I honestly, I stopped reading what the stats were, but I actually think you get 3 cents per play here on the box, which is ridiculous. I mean, but if I can put three pennies in your pocket and not in a gay way, I'll do that, and not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, for $1, I might do it in a gay way. I mean, times they're getting tight. But yeah, I got this negative review. So I'm not allowed to do that. So one of the things I actually have to do every Friday or Saturday when I post the box is I have to chop out all the music I don't have express written permission for. You know, most local bands I have express permission from, and I also have implied permission from if they submit it. Like, if you'll notice, like, I'll have people send songs to the Hard Rock Lunchbox. It's hardrocklunchbox@gmail.com. By the way, if you ever want to send songs in, it's hardrocklunchbox@gmail.com. What I do is I really do imply anything sent there can be used for promotional purposes, and I'm not making any money off of anything so far, so there's really no fee to discuss. So, like, that's why, like, you hear the replay, you'll hear regular music, you'll hear local music mainly, and you won't hear any really commercially available music because the Data Remember has yet to give me express permission to play their stuff, which is bullshit, honestly. Day to Remember, still not a sponsor of the Hard Rock Lunchbox, and that's cool. Deftones, also not a sponsor. I was actually just defending Chino the other night about what a great singer he was. I'm air quoting great. I wasn't, honestly, to be perfectly honest. I wasn't air quoting initially, but in my head I was. So I was used to being on radio where I could just mentally air quote. But now, since I'm shooting this for the top 20, I have to physically air quote, and it's just getting more and more difficult to keep up. I feel like I'm just rambling through this this opening. I'm really having a tough time holding it together. But I got in trouble, or I got a negative review. I got 1 star and like a negative review or something like that on Apple Music because the guy's like, well, the talk was interesting, but I sure wish he'd play more music. And it's like, dude, I put in the description that I am not allowed to play more music, but if you want to hear the full thing, listen live, and you can hear music all day. But, of course, trying to explain something to somebody online is like there's this meme. I actually printed it out, and I keep it on my desk. And it's like, it's like from off camera. It's like a stick figure. The stick figure sitting in a computer, and off camera, it's like, hey, are you gonna be done soon? And the stick figure at the computer is like, in a minute, someone is wrong on the internet. And that is literally the story of my internet life, I don't know. My compulsion to correct somebody on the internet is really becoming quite pathological, and I can't even think of anything more useless or worthless or worth less of my time than to do that, and yet I still do. Which actually brings me to the point of the top 20 today, which really isn't much. I cannot believe I've talked this long and said nothing. I think that in and of itself should be the top 20, but regardless. I just want to say something really quick about, and I try not to be political, and this is not political, this is social, so if you think it's political, just think again. I just want to talk real quick socially about stuff. I follow very few people on Twitter. Or, no, that's not true. I follow a lot of people. I get a very few notifications on Twitter. But I do have some people that I follow that are very smart, like economists or geopolitical scientists and stuff like that, because what they do is they kind of give me a template in which to think about things as the world sort of unfolds, right? And it's kind of important. I don't know if you guys know this, but the president of Haiti was just assassinated in his home. The president of a country. I mean, yeah, Haiti's not a great place. Hasn't been for a very long time. I believe if you follow, I think it was Jerry Falwell that said Haiti has been cursed by God because of all the rampant homosexuality. I mean, you can take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, the president of Haiti was assassinated. That country is in a really bad spot. And I've been seeing a lot of stuff like, man, I can't even believe this happened. It's 2021. And I'm just thinking, yeah, they were trying to hang Mike Pence in December, of this year in America. What? Do you know what I mean? What? That was, he was minutes away from being, severely, brutally accosted by a mob in America, on the Capitol grounds, in the Capitol building. And people are like, well, I can't believe this happened. What? Why? I can absolutely believe this happened. But anyway, what I wanted to say is this thing. So I want to talk about jobs, right? People are up in arms about the economy right now. And they should be. The economy's unstable, and we just went through a really bad thing, and all that is true. And, I will say that in New York, Governor Cuomo has executive ordered the extension of outdoor dining by a year, which I think is great and may not seem like all that big of a deal, but basically what that's doing, especially in the city, but definitely out here, it's expanding the size of these restaurants, sometimes by half. Sometimes just doubling them completely, depending on the sidewalk cafe nature of your business. And he did that today or yesterday or whenever he did it. And it effectively just lets all these restaurants just almost up to double their size for another year, and it's designed to help them make some money back from the money they just lost. Now, I will tell you that I know absolutely nobody in the restaurant industry that is at all pro Cuomo at all, and I understand. He basically executive ordered shut down their business. Yeah, there was a major public health hazard, and some people don't necessarily agree that that was the right thing to do, and I've got my own take on it. But he did this thing that he didn't have to do, basically giving up public space. This is public space, especially in New York City, letting people into streets, into sidewalks. It's our space. Just giving it to the restaurants, rent-free. Like, rent-free. Here, set up 10 tables, make money, don't pay any extra taxes on it. Here you go, rent-free, give it to them. I have not seen one pro-Cuomo post since it went live. Not one. And I know tons of people at restaurants, but they're like, nope, they're nothing. I don't like Cuomo. Cuomo's a dick. He did this really good thing. Like, and it's like, dude, will you just like get your head out of your own ass and like appreciate when something actually good happens for you? But that's not what I wanted to talk about either. I wanted to talk about jobs and how there are way, way more jobs. Historically today, there are more jobs available than ever before since they started keeping records. That sentence sounds a lot more potent than it was because it's only been since 2000 that they started keeping records. It's not like they did it back in China where they, in the ancient, the Kung Fu dynasty or the Chuan or the Mongol hordes or whatever. But there are more people, there are more jobs available than ever before, and people just aren't taking the jobs. And I just want to quickly say that the entire world that I speak to is constantly blaming this extra $300 that people are getting on unemployment insurance. And I don't think they should have given a $300 a week blanket increase across the country. I don't. I think if you live in West Virginia, you should get significantly less than you get in New York. I think that's true. I can demonstrate why that is. I can socioeconomically back all that up. But I wasn't asked, so that's what happened. So that part I agree with. But the simple fact that every single person I talk to, every business person I talk to, is like, that is ruining it because they are their workers are choosing to stay home instead of work for a living. These lazy, lazy people, white people, by the way, not the typical lazy people that people are always blaming on being lazy. Lazy white people would rather stay home and collect unemployment than work for a living. I just want to say two things, and then I'll shut up. Probably. Not really. That extra money that people are getting amounts to about $15,000 a year. A little more than that. Now, here in New York, I want you to let me know what $15,000 a year actually covers for you. And I want to know, like, if you honestly think you could opt to not work and live off that $15,000, like, you would opt to do it. Like, how little are you actually going to be making at your job if you can opt to make $15,000 a year? I'll let you in on a little secret. The taxes on my goddamn house are over $12,000 a year. So I could do it and only pay my taxes and then maybe eat some food on occasion. Maybe. But that's it. I couldn't opt to do that. I don't know anybody that could opt to do that, to make that little money. And second, and this might be more important to everybody else, it breaks down to about $7.50 an hour for a 40-hour work week. A 40-hour work week, which is barely a full-time jobs tend to be a little bit more than that since they've started to cut into your hours for lunch and stuff like that. But $7.50 an hour. There was an experiment done where they created this box and you could just turn this handle and it would give you money. Basically, it would give you a penny. It was like every 3 seconds or 4 seconds like that. It was enough that you would be making minimum wage if you just cranked this crank for an hour. Nobody would do it. Nobody would do it. That's barely work, and nobody would do it. So just think about like how much money people are actually getting from unemployment that would opt them to not want to take your job. Think about how bad that job has got to be or how poorly paying that job has got to be. And I just want you to think about that before you start blaming these lazy people for not taking jobs. And I'm sorry if that's incoherent. I haven't slept much. But I do have new music today. And unlike some bands who shall remain nameless for right now, I believe in promotion. So I'm going to promote new music today. Just not yet. But I am going to wet your whistle because I'm cool like that. Not really. Is that gross? Probably gross. I'm going to start you out with, maybe a little Craving Strange today. Is it the new song? Is it? No, of course not.